add up to the highest educational standards in the world. Korea has the highest educational performance standards in the world. Korea is proud of a lot of things that it's done. That says something. That says something, does it not? Maybe we should do that in this country.
이 강의는 한국학의 세계적인 권위자 마크 피터슨 교수의 강의입니다. 피터슨 교수는 하버드에서 한국학을 전공했으며 세계에서 가장 큰 사립 대학 중 하나인 브리검 영 대학에서 외국인들에게 한국의 역사에 대해 가르쳐 왔습니다. 피터슨 교수가 한국학을 연구한 지는 올해로 무려 57년이 되었는데요. 과연 그가 바라본 한국의 인쇄술은 어떨지 강의 시작합니다.
It turns out, now I've got here that the oldest printed document in the world is a document from Korea. Now, more recently we found two documents from China that might be older. And so we've got a little bit of a problem with whether this is the absolute oldest one or not, or whether it's the second or third oldest. According to Wikipedia, this might be the third oldest document. We do have the first metal movable type coming from Korea, and we do have the oldest book printed with metal movable type is from Korea, and we have the largest collection of wood plates or wood block printing, all from Korea.
무려 30년이 넘게 대학 강의를 해온 피터슨 교수는 여러 나라 학생들이 강의를 듣고 있기 때문에 문제가 생기지 않도록 논란에 대해 먼저 언급했습니다. 이는 이번에도 중국이 난리였는데요. 세계 최고의 금속 활자라 평가받는 한국의 지위를 뺏기 위해 몰래 유네스코 등재를 추진했던 일이 있었습니다. 하지만 이는 꼼수로 밝혀졌으며 한국이 최초라는 걸 다시 한번 알게 했던 사건이었습니다. 그리고 금속 활자보다 이전인 한국의 목판 활자에 대해 설명합니다.
If the next thing to do is to go to Hainsa, where there are 80,000 wood blocks. Here's a wood block for printing the Buddhist scripture. The 80,000 wooden blocks, you don't have 80,000 pages. You have 4 times 80,000. How many pages is that? 320,000 pages of documents about Buddha. This is the largest collection of Buddhist scripture in the world. And a Buddhist scholar today, you can go in and you say, I want to print off pages 182 to page 188 of volume 27 or whatever, and you can go in and they'll let you do it. This is like a living Xerox machine from 800 years ago. Isn't that remarkable?
건축물도 아닌 오래된 문화재를 아직까지 사용할 수 있다니 정말로 놀라운 일인데요. 얼마나 정교하고 과학적이게 만들었는지 그동안 몇 번의 화재가 있었는데도 8만 대장경은 멀쩡했으며 8만 대장경을 보관하는 해인사 또한 습기, 바람, 햇빛 등 모든 것이 현대의 과학에서도 완벽하다 말합니다.
We started off with print culture. Now, so what? Right? You want to answer the question of what's this got to do with what? Well, the answer is this leads to printing of books. That's the purpose, is to have books. And books are, the purpose of books is to lead to education. Education leads to all sorts of societal progress, and among them in Korea you have democracy, you have economic development, you have all sorts of innovative products. These are all the best and the brightest out of Korea, and I'm arguing today that the foundation for this is the print culture, the books.
인쇄술은 교육과 밀접한 관련이 있기 때문에 오래전부터 발달했던 한국의 인쇄술이 오늘날의 한국에도 기여했다 말하는데요.
Now this leads us to one other interesting and unique feature of Korea, and that is Hangul. This unique alphabet, that's a true alphabet. It's not a syllabary like the Japanese, it's not Chinese characters like the Chinese, but it's a true alphabet with consonants and vowels that was invented by a king. And it turns out that each of these shapes is a picture of how that sound is made. Now, if we had an hour, I could teach you how to read Korean. I'm serious. The print culture, the simplicity of the alphabet, and the ideology of Confucianism, which says there's nothing better than to study, all add up to the highest educational standards in the world.
한글의 위대함을 모르는 한국인이 과연 있을까요? 그 어느 나라의 글자를 따온 것도 아니기에 한글을 전혀 모르는 외국인이 보기엔 정말 어려울 것입니다. 하지만 이렇게 과학적인 문자는 세상 어디에도 없기 때문에 조금만 배워보면 경외심이 절로 생길 것입니다. 그리고 피터슨 교수는 이어 말했습니다.
Korea has the highest educational performance standards in the world. Korea has the highest graduation rate from high school in the world. And that's remarkable. How are you all doing in California? You're pretty close to 98. You're up there 97. Where are you? California is 76%. So we have graduation rates that are between 60 and 80%, and Korea is at 98%. And Koreans have to pay tuition to go to high school. They only have compulsory education or free education up until the 9th grade. Free till the 9th grade, but if you're going to go to high school, you got to pay. And they still have the highest graduation rate in the world. That says something. That says something, does it not? Maybe we should do that in this country. Charge for going to high school. Maybe we'd appreciate it more if we had to pay for it. You know? But this is a remarkable thing. Now, you ask, well, 98%, aren't there some poor people, difficult people that can't pay the tuition? Yes, there are people that cannot pay the tuition, but they take care of it. There are scholarships. Every school has a certain amount of fund leeway to admit students without paying. And still, 98% graduate from high school. Because the college graduation rate is similarly very high. Now, Koreans criticize themselves. They're no better critic of Korea than the Koreans. And they point out that there's some problems in the educational system. They're very critical of their educational system. Well, something so valuable, of course you've got to be critical of it. And there are different opinions, and they fight back and forth about should we westernize or should we keep the traditional system, and it goes back and forth. There's a lot of argument about it, a lot of criticism about the stress of passing the exams. There are a lot of issues, but nonetheless the performance rate is very, very high. There are things that I think we in our country can learn from the Korean educational system. Okay, that's another one of the bests. So all these things add up to one big package, I think. The print culture, the alphabet, the stress on Confucian ideology leading to the high impact in education.
한국인들은 어릴 때부터 엄청난 교육 속에서 자랍니다. 우리는 이것을 바꾸기 위해 많은 노력을 들이고 있습니다. 한국의 교육 시스템이 옳은 방향이 아닐 수도 있습니다. 하지만 그동안 우리가 해온 것들을 결코 무시해선 안 됩니다. 잘못된 방향이었다 해도 우리는 열심히 노력했으며 수많은 발전이 있었습니다. 올바른 방향을 위해 우리가 스스로 목소리 낸다면 점점 더 옳은 방향으로 갈 수 있지 않을까요? 오늘 준비한 영상은 여기까지입니다. 시청해 주셔서 정말 감사합니다.